What's up, everybody? I'm Kyle Carlson, and this is the Rollback BMX Podcast, the #1 BMX podcast in the universe, according to me. This week's guest is Matty Cranmer. A lot of people just know Matty as Scotty's little brother, but he's actually a total badass. Matty's had a really big year competing in the Vans BMX Pro Cup events. He's a part of the Tall Order Pro team. I guess he's famous on YouTube. And he's just a really good guy. We talk about growing up with a superstar as an older brother and how that influenced him, how he's dealing with life after the Incline Club, what his day-to-day life consists of, how he and the entire Cranmer family dealt with Scotty's crash, and much more. So sit back, listen up, you might learn something here. This is the Rollback BMX Podcast with Matty Cranmer. Matthew Cranmer. What's up, dog?
Are we starting?
Yeah.
Are we ready?
I don't know, are you ready?
I feel ready.
What's that tattoo on your leg?
That's a freshie from Big Island, dude.
Oh yeah, is that from HB?
Yeah, I got 10th place there, and I was feeling pretty reckless. I was like, 10th place, yeah, I'm getting a tattoo.
Was it a 10th place trophy?
Pretty much, yeah. I didn't get much else. I figured I had to go with something.
What is it?
Well, I had an idea for a tattoo. Well, actually, I stole an idea off somebody else, pretty much.
From like Instagram or what?
Yeah.
It's just a random stranger?
Yeah. I've been looking at it, and I was like, yeah, that would be cool. It was like with a skateboard originally. I was like, let's put a bike in it. And Big Island's like, yeah, I could do that.
So hold on, what is it?
It's a skeleton with a a flower button up on, doing a suicide.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because you do suicides.
Yeah. Well, that's Big Island's thing. He's like, you want him to do a trick? And I was like, I mean, it's fine. He doesn't really have to. And he's like, how about a suicide? And I was like,
I do that.
Let's do it.
Especially it's a skeleton, so he's dead, so suicide, you know.
It kind of sounds weird when you put it like that. And when I think about it, I'm like,
you did that. That's on your body forever.
No, I know. My mom wasn't hyped.
What did she say?
Right when I walked in, I was like, actually, I waited about 3 days because I had this like piece of plastic over it that was like making it nice.
Yeah.
But under the plastic was all bloody and looked absolutely horrendous. So I was like, I'm not showing my mom this. And then I walked in, finally pulled it off. I'm like, Ma, I got to show you something. I got a tattoo. And she's like, why did you put that? Oh my God, you need to go to church, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but what do you really think about it? And she's like, it actually came out really nice, but I would not want it on you. And I'm like, yeah, of course. And then my dad's like, you know what? Honestly, if I was in that room at Big Island, I'd probably get a tattoo as well. I'm like, yeah, it's just something you have to.
Big Scott BMX is the man.
Yeah, he really is the man. He's stoked on life right now.
So, does your sister have any tattoos?
Yeah, she's got one tattoo. She got one when she was 18. She hates it.
What is it?
It's an anchor.
Of course it is.
It's just an anchor on her back. Literally, it's just, I don't even know. It doesn't say anything. It's just an anchor.
Like, what does that mean? Nothing.
No, it didn't mean anything.
It's an anchor.
She was stoked. She was 18, and she's like, I'm getting this tattoo. And she absolutely hates it now.
I know a dude that had a tattoo of an anchor. I guess he still has the tattoo of an anchor. And he was like, I got this because I crossed the sea on, like, vacation or something.
I've heard that so many times.
I was like, dude, it's an anchor. Like, you flew in an airplane on vacation. Like, you need to document this with a tattoo like you're some badass. Like,
yeah, I've heard that so many times. What else do you feel about the anchor tattoo?
I don't know. I like Kelsey, so I'll be quiet.
Cool, because I have one too.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's on my ankle.
Oh, so that wasn't your first?
No, first real tattoo. The other ones were by Trey.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
Yeah, in Trey's living room. First tattoo was the anchor, and I just wanted to see what a tattoo felt like, so we got an anchor. And my sister goes and tells my mom. She's like, man, I got a tattoo, blah, 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 blah. My mom's flipping out on me, of course, doing typical mother things. And I told my mom, like, Mom, Kelsey has an anchor too on her back. So I got this so that even though she lives in Florida, we're still anchored together. And my mom's like, you're full of crap. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, well, you tried, man.
Exactly.
Like, it is what it is. But
you still live with your parents?
Yeah. I'm not moving out.
You're staying?
Yeah. I'm not moving out.
There's
smart. No shot.
That's a smart
They
move.
don't ask me to leave. I'm not leaving. I have my own side of the house. So, like, I literally have 2 little French doors that open up. I have an office. I've got a bedroom. I've got my own parking spot. Like,
And it costs you a whole nothing.
Yeah, I don't pay for anything, so.
That's a good gig.
Until they literally give me no other option but to move out or make me start paying some ridiculous stuff, whatever. I don't know. I'm not moving out.
So are you you're working at the shop, right?
Yeah.
Are you kind of running shit or are you just hanging out?
I mean, I wouldn't say I run anything. I work there 5 days a week.
Okay.
For a while, I was like kind of like a salesman, and during Scotty's accident and stuff, when his wife left, my mom wasn't really working there much, nothing like that. I was working out front as a salesman. I was ordering stuff, like handing any like, you know, payment info, stuff like that. Like I was pretty much handling everything out front.
Okay.
So that was like almost stressful. Like I was almost like, I don't know if I really feel like doing this. I'm a mechanic. Like I'm a mechanic at heart.
Work in the back.
Yeah.
Don't be bothered.
I enjoy it. I don't mind talking to people. I actually love it. And I swear to God, every time I work with someone over the age of 50, I get told how great of a salesman I am. I'm not kidding. I just had this woman who told me her life story and told me she wants to talk to my boss to get me a raise.
Wow.
Yeah. It went that well. And I told her, I was like, I'm not even a salesman. I just happen to be out here at the right time while you were out here.
You should have like FaceTime Scotty. Like, here's some old lady that wants to talk to you.
I should have done it, but he probably wouldn't answer,
True,
as
true.
usual.
He's not that good at phones.
No, he doesn't know how. Well, actually, he knows how to use it really well. He just doesn't know how to answer.
See, that's
something.
what's bad. You ever and Scotty's kind of like that, but the people that you can't get a hold of, and then when you hang out with them, they're on their phone all the time.
Yeah, that's Scotty.
Like, come on, man! I know you're on your
Scotty
phone. When I'm
knows
texting you.
everything about his phone. He knows everything about Instagram. He's seen any video you can probably imagine. You're like, oh, this is really funny. Go to show Scotty, and he's like, yeah, I saw it last week, and you're like, oh, cool. But I called you last week. You didn't answer that. So I texted you yesterday. You didn't answer that. So it's like, he's one of those people. But I don't know. Whatever floats his boat, I guess.
So is what you're doing right now for a living? Essentially, working at the shop and YouTube stuff.
Yeah, more or less. I don't really have much else going on right now. I thought about going to do some school stuff, get my basic classes done, and I don't know. Honestly, I don't feel like going to college. Like in a way, I don't feel like driving. I have such a schedule right now. Like I go to the gym at 8:30 every single day. I get done by 9:40, 9:50. I go 3 minutes down the road to the shop, work at the shop till 6 o'clock. Get out at 6 o'clock, film a video. Usually go hang out with my girlfriend, and I'm done for the day. Like,
and you like that? You like that schedule?
Yeah, I love it. Like I'm able to do everything that I want to without having to like stress about it or whatever.
And fit it all in one day.
Literally
not
between like
it.
Mentally, physically, like I feel like I can be at, you know, I'm making money. Like I feel like I can just be at such like a high on it. Like I'm able to cook my own food. I have time for that. I'm able to go to the gym and ride my bike and see my girlfriend, you know, make money. And like I'm like so scared to commit to like school or something where that would throw like, oh, be here at this time, and I'm like, well, I can't do that, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, I don't want to rearrange what I do.
Well, I mean, this day and age, I feel like you could probably do some online stuff.
No, you can,
but at the same time, too, like the opportunity to do school stuff isn't going to go away.
It's not,
and who knows how long the YouTube stuff will last. I'm optimistic it'll go on forever, but that's a large parent company that could one day be like, if you have a bicycle in your video, you can't monetize it.
It's totally possible, and I've thought a lot about it, and I'm like, you know what? I think, you know, whether owning the shop could go a long way. You know, who knows? Maybe I can have some sort of higher position in that, and you know, I don't know. Maybe the YouTube stuff can just, I mean, it's doing great, and maybe it keeps popping off. Maybe, you know, I definitely keep an open mind with all that stuff.
Well, you're still so young too.
Yeah.
You know, just 21, right?
Yeah, just turned 21. So
I mean, you got plenty of years to fuck up.
I guess that's one way to put it.
It's the right way to put it.
I guess it's just like I'm 21 and I'm like, you know what? This year has been like one of my best years of traveling and everything. Like last year I broke my ankle before we were supposed to go to Australia for the Vans BMX Pro Cup, and I missed out on pretty much every event besides Huntington Beach. And I told myself like last year was going to be like my travel year. I was like, I'm going everywhere. And that didn't work out at all.
So you've kind of done it this year.
Yeah, this year I went to England, Australia. We're going to be going back to England next week. I mean, obviously we're here in Mexico. I've never been to Mexico before. Yeah. Then Spain after that, which should be cool, and then hopefully China for FEAS.
Yeah.
That's the end goal. So I'm going to try and figure that out really, really soon.
So you talk about how you're so into having a routine and whatnot, but now you're talking about all this traveling. Do you like this?
I do.
You like being
right
away?
Now I do, yeah, because I mean it is short breaks away from like my little schedule and everything, but like it's still doing something productive, and it's still, you know, kind of what I'm doing everything for. You know, I'm making money so that I can be able to do this stuff. You know, I'm physically going to the gym and all that stuff, eating healthy, you know, trying my best to do all that because I would like to be a better rider in the end, to maybe continue traveling and going to more contests, whatever. And I want to be the best that I can be at everything, and you know, whatever it takes, I guess.
Do you have a desire to try to do more in BMX, like having sponsors? Are you content with what you're doing, or?
I wouldn't put it like I'm like content with what I'm doing. Like obviously I would always want to better myself.
Yeah.
I'd always want to get to, a higher up position, but like I'm not one of those people that I'm like, I want to be the best bike rider ever.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like I'm going to be better than everyone else. Like I didn't get into BMX because I wanted to be better than everybody. Like I got into it just because I enjoy doing it, and everyone else around me and in BMX thoroughly enjoys riding their bike. Like no one thinks they're cool because they ride a bike, or no one decided to get into BMX because they're like, I'm going to be a millionaire one day from riding BMX. It's just not going to happen, unfortunately.
So you were kind of born into BMX per se, correct?
100%.
So you're 10 years younger than Scotty?
Yeah. Exactly 10 years.
So I'm guessing some of your oldest memories are at the Incline Club.
Everything. Everything I know is the Incline Club.
So did you really have a choice to could you not get into BMX? It just with all that around?
No, it was totally an option.
And
it was.
So Scotty started kind of getting success when he was 16, 17, so you were 6 or 7.
Yeah, he
have
was
this
16
park,
when it really
this park, your brother's
off.
killing it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have to get into BMX by any means. Everyone always kind of said like, oh, you're going to follow your brother's footsteps, yada, yada, yada. And like, I always kind of thought about it. I was like, well, I'm just kind of doing my own thing. I mean, if it happens, I rode a scooter for God knows how many years, 6, 7 years. I tried skateboarding. I've tried to play soccer when I was younger. At one point in high school, I was ready to join the golf squad.
Yeah.
I've never played golf in my life, but I just thought this was going to be really cool.
Really like collared shirts.
Yeah, literally. I got clubs for Christmas, and I went to the meeting, and I was like, I don't know if it's really going to work out, but I was like, maybe, so
it's worth a shot.
Yeah, but like by it, and I really didn't have to get into BMX at all.
Do you feel like you purposely tried everything else to not do what your brother did, or do you feel like you just did what felt natural?
No, I 100% did what felt natural. I'm really not into doing anything I don't feel like doing. I'm very open-minded to anything, so like I will literally try whatever, and I'm into any sporting event. Like I'll go to any soccer games, football games, whatever. Like I enjoy it, and I enjoy everything outside of BMX. But I thoroughly enjoy riding my bike, and the people that I've met through BMX make it 100% more worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the community is literally one of like the things that really keeps a person around.
Was it hard for you kind of growing up with your brother being such a success, or did you kind of see past that and you didn't know anything differently?
I would say a little bit of both. Like, I mean, it puts pressure on you. It's not like I have to be the best bike rider. It's not like, I wasn't always compared, but it was always like, Scotty's the best at what he does. Do you want to be that, or are you going to be that, or you will be that? It's in your blood. Yeah. So like, there's always like that little bit of pressure, but like, I never felt like that it was overshadowing or anything. I'm just kind of like, oh, it's just me. I'm just riding my bike. And
because it seemed like for a while when you were starting to hit BMX pretty hard, you kind of had all the same sponsors as him, any hookups and whatnot, and it was just like you were Scotty's brother. You were hardly an individual.
No, that's exactly how it was, and I guess that was just the easiest route for everything. And I mean, with little do I know, with experience in the BMX world, like I mean, he's been through it all. He knows it all. He started from the bottom. He's done it by himself. For me, I've never really had to do anything by myself. It's always been a follow the leader thing, and I'm just like kind of just along for the ride in a way. So everything was always so easy for me. So sponsors wise and like stuff like that, it was just like, oh, well, you should give him a bike too, or something, or you should do this for him too. And it's like, I mean, for me, I'm just like, cool. Like I don't care.
I think it was pretty cool for a long time, and then I think it got to the point where it was like, you're riding really good, and I feel like some opportunities weren't there for you because you were on the team as Scotty's little brother and not on the team as this random dude who kicks ass.
Yeah.
Here's this random guy from Jersey.
Yeah.
Matty,
I appreciate that.
Johnson,
I appreciate that. And I think it's funny to think about. Like, I always wondered, like, what would be different if maybe, my brother wasn't Scotty. But obviously, I don't think I'd be half the rider I am without him. Yeah. Not even close,
100%.
Everything between the inspiration for my riding and what I've learned from, what I know, like everything is from him.
You do your own thing though. Like when you ride, you don't ride like Scotty.
No, now is completely different.
Was there a while when you were kind of imitating his stuff?
100%, and I think everybody from our area was. I think it was always the coolest thing to, if you're from New Jersey, like you want to ride like Scotty. So I think everybody was kind of doing it, and like I've always, if I could do half the stuff that he was doing, if I could flip double whip a box jump, I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest things is injury-wise. Like my knees, I blew out my ACL years ago. I had to get reconstruction on
Riding
that and
BMX?
stuff yeah.
Okay.
All BMX related accidents. I blew out my ACL, and that threw a huge mental block in the tail whip game for me.
Yeah.
I hate tail whips because of my knee. I've always had a knee brace on. It's big and clunky. It would scratch my bike, all this stuff. And Scotty,
So do you not really do tail whips?
not as much anymore.
I'm trying to think.
I'll do 'em.
You do 3-whips and stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll try and throw a tail up every now and then.
Yeah.
I threw one in Huntington Beach. I almost died, but it was really cool. Like, felt great, But
Was that up in that back bowl?
yeah. I tried to do the hip into the back bowl
That
thing.
was a big hip too.
Yeah, I was end of my run, and I took 2 pedals, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. My legs were failing me.
Yeah.
They were.
Jello.
Yeah, literally. When I was pedaling up to it, I was like, this isn't gonna go nearly what I think.
You were like, best case scenario, podium. Worst case scenario, tattoo.
Podium was not even an option. Tattoo was totally an option. Podium was not, though. This was like, I hope people like this. So
It was unexpected from you.
yeah,
Which I think is
literally, I had an idea from the beginning, like before the contest even started, and I was like, you know what? If it comes down to that point, I was like, I'll just send it. I don't know.
See,
One tail up's fine.
I like that. I like your way of thinking there, because so many guys do tail whips to where a lot of people that don't know you would probably be like, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But when it's a dude that doesn't do tail whips, it's like, oh, it's kind of a personal thing.
Yeah.
Like, no, I tail up this big ass hip.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's kind of how it is. And like I said, for me, for the whole tail up thing, like because of my knee injuries, I've always hated them. But Scotty's so good at them, and Scotty's known for every tail variation you could
kind
possibly
of the
imagine.
godfather of modern day tail whip tricks.
Literally, like
Yeah.
everyone knows it. For Scotty can tail up anything. He can. Oh, it's unbelievable what he's done with a tail up. So everyone kind of like pictures me to do that. Like, why don't you do more triple whips or something? And I'm like, I haven't done a double whip in 3 years. Like I'm like, I actually just did one at Woodward the other day.
Resi?
Yeah.
Pussy.
Appreciate that. Thank you. But I was stoked on it.
No, good for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Every once in a while, it's good to keep yourself in check and make sure you can still do it.
That's exactly what it was. I'm not gonna lie, I did it in the foam pit first, but
Did you really?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a mental game. I already had a torn ACL, but I wasn't able to get surgery for 5 years because my
So you
growth plates and stuff like that.
You were just powering through, riding
Yeah,
your way.
exactly.
Yeah.
But my knee would slip out all the time, even with a knee brace.
Yep.
So in Scotty's old backyard setup, one of our friends was like, "Hey, double whip with me." I was like, "Yeah, sure." I sent it and blew out my knee again. Like I just
Perfect.
felt it slip.
Yeah.
And my knee swelled up for the next 6 months, whatever.
Dude,
like, it was a mess.
knees are so stupid. I'm not a religious person, but if there is a God that designed the human body, he's a real dick for having elbows and knees and all these hinges that are just
I
like...
feel terrible for laughing at that, but
you know what I mean? It's like, come on, can't you just design that a little bit more simple and like... make
It's
it last
it's pretty bad, Like humans are pretty great and all, but like the knee is.
Come on, we could redesign those.
Seriously.
Can't we evolve past this bullshit?
Oh my
Like,
god! Imagine a couple years from now we could have some sort of next level knees. Imagine that.
They're probably already out there. Robotic
Just
knees.
straight bionic, just
Yeah.
immediate knee replacements from birth.
There you go. Yeah.
a good idea.
You grow a whole new leg.
Yeah,
Like,
I might
your
start
knee shot.
putting some money into that. So.
Or just hitting the old stem cells. Apparently that stuff works.
Yeah, but you can only do that where? Here? Mexico?
You can do it in Panama's big.
Oh, yeah?
And I think some more and more is legal in the United States. I know there's some type of it you can do in Southern California now.
So I heard that one dude was traveling. What's a really rich poker player dude's name?
Dan Bilzerian?
Yeah. He was traveling like here or something. To do
Probably
some-
Panama. There's a famous doctor in Panama.
That's got to be what it is. Then.
Yeah. There was a podcast that he was on I listened to, and it was really interesting, and he was talking about brain function and stem cells. And I was like, I was just thinking of Scotty, and I sent it to Scotty, and I was like, next time you have a flight or a long drive, listen to this. It's really interesting. And I'm 90% sure he just never listened to it.
I'm 99% sure he didn't listen to it, for sure.
I'm not offended, but it was like, come on, man.
Do you think the whole stem cell thing actually like helps out, you think?
I think there's enough science behind it to where people swear by it. I think there's proof to it. I think the issue has always been it's at least looked at as a controversial way of getting them, from like...
Yeah, of course. And it's got to be ridiculously expensive, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, like anything else, I think the more anything grows and whatnot, and the more accepted it is, the more they can mass produce machines that they need to create them and stuff. I don't know. I know so little about it. Like everything I would say would be stupid, and I'm sure I've already said too much.
Did you hear the whole coconut oil thing?
I don't think so. What is it?
Coconut oil is poison. That's a new finding from a woman at Harvard or something.
Okay. Well, why is
everyone eats coconut oil and everyone puts it in their coffee and all this good stuff? And then apparently they're saying that it like clogs your arteries really quickly. And
no shit.
Yeah, you shouldn't intake it at all.
I'm not sure if I
thought that was pretty funny when I heard that.
Yeah, pretty funny until your arteries are clogged.
Yeah, I'm a big coconut oil fan, so I'm screwed.
I drink black coffee, so you guys can suck it.
Wow, rough.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
So rough.
Getting back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, wherever we were.
What made you want to quit riding for Hyper and ride for Tall Order? Was that have anything to do with just wanting to break off from all Scottys stuff, or was that just the fact that Tall Order's doing cool shit, and Baz is a cool dude, and the opportunity comes up, you want to jump on it?
Definitely everything you just said. It was 100% a mix of everything you just said. I think it was just a whole timing thing. Like, I guess it was one of those things where it's like, just Scotty kind of is the biggest face, for Hyper, or whether it was at the time, whether it's now. Like, I'm not going to say anything like that, But I think...
Well, numbers don't lie. And if you want to look at social media and the YouTube following and stuff, Scotty is the biggest face for Hyper.
Yeah. In that situation, yeah, and everything. But, I mean, there's a million good riders on
100%.
Hyper now and everything.
Yep,
and, like, they have a stacked team, 100%, you know? But in either way, like, I guess it was just one of those things where it was like, I'm never going to be recognized more than Scotty would be on the team, And I think Baz just came up to me, especially just kind of at the right time, where it was just like... He came up to me and he was cool as could be, I second year I've ever met him.
Okay.
And he was just like, you know what? I'm a really big fan of your riding. I've got a new company, and if you're willing to try it out, like, I'm going to support you as much as I possibly can. And if you want to come to England, come hang out with us. Like,
did he know you were kind of over the Hyper thing, or was it just totally random?
No, he knew nothing.
Wow.
I didn't tell anybody. Like, I didn't have anything against Hyper. But I mean, I guess there was just thoughts for myself that I was just like,
no, it's nothing negative against the brand, but when you're talking about the brand's very established and you're probably where you're going to be, it's not a negative. It's just diagnosing the situation.
That's pretty much what it was. Yeah, it was just like, I don't know how much more it's ever going to be from me. Maybe for anybody else it could be something, but I don't know. Maybe for me, it's just, I don't know if it was ever going to just excel any more than what it was. And I think just literally just the right time, Baz came up to me and he was just so cool about everything.
Well, that's an exciting opportunity when it comes from Baz, who's a credible guy who's been in the game a long time, being a part of 70s and Stuart Dawkins and the guys over in England that just have a great reputation and between Federal and the distro and whatnot have done really big things for a long time in BMX. So,
like, I didn't even know about half that stuff before it. I was just like, you know what? I know Baz, and I've watched him for years. I was like, he's sickest, and he's starting a new brand where he's kind of like, hey, you'll be our first American rider. And for me, I was like, how do you say no to that? Like, that just sounds awesome. He's going to keep with something, he's going to try and take it to the next level, rider owned, rider, endorsed, like everything is just like, it's built for the riders, which I think is really cool. So I'm like, Tall Orders, might as well take the chance and go for it.
Has it been 2 years yet?
Yeah, just about 2 years. Yeah.
Still psyched?
Yeah,
I love it. You don't hate Baz yet?
No, I don't hate Baz yet. I'm going to go see him next week.
Good. I saw he just had a kid.
He just had a baby. His name's Wilson.
That's a good name. I was hoping he was going to be out here, then I saw the baby and stuff and was
like,
okay.
I know. It makes sense. But I'm stoked. I can't wait to go there. I'm going to be there for Battle of Hastings, but I'm leaving about 6-7 days early. Just go hang out with Baz and maybe do some road trip stuff and film some videos and everything.
So you went over there and did one trip with the guys, right?
Yeah. Yep. So far, I've done one trip over there.
Who all was on that trip?
There was Matt Peter Harris. I mean, I don't know how everybody recognizes him, but Matt Harris and Oliver Jones and Tom Graves. And then this is just when Tom Bogart. You know Tom Bogart.
Oh, that's my dude.
I know, that's your dude. That's why Tom Bogart just kind of got on the team and everything. And I didn't even know Tom Bogart before that.
Dude, he's incredible.
Yeah, I knew nothing about him. He's one of my favorite people.
He's an awesome guy too. But even just as a rider, like every time there's an event and he's there, I'm like, you guys are all screwed. You have no idea. Yeah. And then he blows it.
Oh, dude. No, he is an insane rider.
Dude,
like,
people still don't know. He's got he might be the closest thing in BMX today to Mike Aitkenish style.
That's a way to put it.
But also does like 3 triple down whips on lock. It's crazy,
it's wild.
Man. Like,
but between everything that he can do, he's not missing anything in BMX, which I think is really cool. Like,
I think what he's missing is somebody kicking his ass and paying for him to do everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess it's one way to look at it.
And I understand why, you know?
Yeah, of
and
course.
I think maybe you and probably Scotty as well are victims of it as well. I think you get a little bit lazy when you have an incredible park next door.
Yeah.
Like when
that's one way to put it. 100%.
When you have 040 right there,
yeah,
it's not that, it's easy to pass on a trip because you're going to go ride an incredible place.
Of course.
When the Incline Club's a 10-minute drive and I'm like, no, dude, you got to fly to Southern California so we can film at this concrete park. You're like,
I've never realized it until the skate park closed, until the Incline Club closed. I've never realized how much like it actually like mentally almost changes you. Like you don't think anything of it until your skate park's gone.
Yeah.
Till you have like a world-class skate park that actually just disappears from you and you're like, whoa, what do I do now? You know, I am one of the main people to complain about New Jersey skate parks. Like I am definitely the biggest complainer about it because I can't stand how bad New Jersey skate parks are.
Yeah.
Compared to riding the Incline Club almost every day for 18 years of my life. Literally 18 years of my life. And then having to ride something that's not even over like 3 feet of ramps and stuff like that, I can't stand it. You know, it gets me so mad. So I understand in that case, yeah, it doesn't really. Now every time I go ride, no matter what skate park it is, I feel like I put in work.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I put in work for whatever hour, 2 hours that I'm there. But as much as my body can handle, I put in work for what I can, you know?
And that's awesome.
I think it's almost better in a way.
You need that relationship with riding because, I mean, you know, you're fortunate to be able to do it. You're fortunate to be naturally good at it, you know, and you can break away and have time in your life to do it. Like, make the most of it.
And
right?
I don't sit and I don't just converse on the deck for 3.5 hours anymore. You know, I get in a skate park and I'm actually like into trying different things and trying to use the skate park for what it's worth. You know, I feel like riding like the Incline Club every day, like it's such great ramps and everything, but I never looked at anything differently. Yeah. I always knew it was going to be there. So no matter what, I was just like, oh yeah, I'll try something next week or I'll try that next week or whatever. And now like I get to a skate park and I'm like, wow, that looks pretty sick. All right, let's give it a go. You know, I'm like, I'm not going to be back for another week. You know, I ride 1 day a week right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a skate park, I ride 1 day a week. We film videos, you know, for me, I work, like I said, 5 days a week, every weekend, everything like that. So for me, I film as much as I can at 6 o'clock. You know, we film for an hour before the sun goes down.
Yeah.
I probably do that maybe 3 times a week, whatever. But besides that, I maybe get to go to a skate park once a week. And that's like fortunate.
So what can or will you change about that? I mean, it's cool while you're traveling, I guess, because you're staying on your bike enough and riding cool stuff. Yeah. But I mean,
I don't know.
Especially in the winter, man. Like that's going to be tough.
For the winter is terrible, and we've already had to go through it for a couple months already. Like skate park closed on New Year's Day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we went through a couple months of winter, and like it hit us hard. Like,
yeah.
Literally, it was the worst timing for a skate park to close that you can possibly imagine. So every single one of us that are used to riding every day, we're like, what do we even do? Like it's almost like you have extra time on your hands.
What's
you know?
the closest indoor?
Closest indoor skate park would probably be like, I don't know, 50-50.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, 50-50 is probably the closest.
So that's
probably an hour, you know?
Yeah.
Probably get there in about an hour. And
assuming you don't get raped by traffic.
Yeah. Something like that.
Pay that bridge toll. What's that
like
bridge
I said,
toll, $30?
After work, I'm going to be going to 50-50. So, like, I'll be going there till it closes. I don't know, whatever time it closes, you know, get an hour in, if that.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, 50-50 is not known for big ramps.
No.
I love the skate park. I actually really do enjoy it every time I go there.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be anything in my aspect of riding that's like going to help me really progress as to what I do.
It seems like you guys have been going to Woodward quite a bit.
Yeah. Woodward is...
Is that 3 hours?
3.5 hours, whatever.
Bad.
And that's fine. I could do a day trip, which, you know, it seems like a lot for some people, but like 3.5 hours, I am completely fine with doing a day trip.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful to have Woodward near us. The people at Woodward are always cool to us, like always accepting for us to go. And I love them for that. Like, I'm so thankful that we can just go there for a day, 2 days, whatever. They're cool with it, you know?
That's something that you really need to take advantage of in the winter.
Yeah.
I know you guys are always down.
I just started
and stuff, but
kind of taking advantage of it more, you know?
Yeah.
We always pictured it, and we're like, oh, 3.5 hours, like, that's far, you know?
That's
we're
far
like,
when the Incline Club's 20 minutes away.
Exactly. Like, we're like, that's rough, you know? And then I think it's just kind of hit me the past couple of months where I'm like, that's not bad at all.
No.
For me to go there and ride a day, I can ride one day, and that's probably more than I even used to ride at the Incline Club
for a week. That's a lot of riding.
Literally one day of riding at Woodward, and that makes up for a whole week I was riding at the Incline Club.
I mean, especially in the winter, you could get a room in State or something like that, drive down, get up in the morning, drive to Woodward, ride all day, stay there, ride the next
Probably
day, drive home that night.
Yeah.
Hotel probably costs you $80.
Yeah, easy enough.
You know?
It's pretty endless, and I'm thankful for that. But we never even thought about that during the winter. Like that wasn't even like our first thought. You know, it was always like Woodward's always been like we really need to plan this early for us to go for a day or two. You know, we'd be thinking a month before, we should all go to Woodward. You know, this will be great, and it just seemed so easy now that we're like, oh, we could just go to Woodward for the day.
I'm probably spacing it, but through Scotty's whole career, I can't think of any footage of him riding Woodward. There's probably something. There's probably something.
It's funny because he loves it. You know, he loves going there. But he's definitely one of those people that it's hard to plan for him to go somewhere. You know, without I guess anything like having to go somewhere. Yeah. Especially with the Incline Club in your backyard, pretty much. You know, it is one of those things you were saying before. Like it's kind of hard to go travel when you know you have something good there already. And he always talks about it. He's like, I love Woodward, and he's went there like the summer before. He pretty much got hurt or whatever, and we had the best time. Like it was a blast. He enjoyed it, but it's just hard to get out for a week when you have the Incline Club so close. So it's just
that problem's been solved for you.
Yeah. Oh, luckily, luckily that one's been solved. But
has the Incline Club going away affected the shop at all?
Yeah,
it's slowed down. Yeah.
We were doing pretty good, and we actually had a live feed of the skate park at our bike shop.
Okay.
So, like, kids would walk in.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they were stoked. Like, we'd show them, like, you could buy a scooter or a bike, and you could go there. It's only 15 minutes away. And kids are like, what? Like, cool, let's do it, you know?
I remember when I was out there in last December, I was really impressed by how many BMX bikes were being sold.
Yeah.
In kind of a time when there's a bit of a drought, especially in complete bikes and stuff, you know? It's like, oh, well, this is the problem that's happening in the industry, but it's not happening in this small town in New Jersey for some reason.
It's so weird.
And it makes sense, though, when it's, obviously the YouTube thing is booming.
Of course.
And if you're anywhere near that skate park's incredible. It's a good shop with good quality stuff, with nice people that can work on your stuff. Yeah. Kind of the perfect storm.
We appreciate you talking us up, too.
Well, the skate park's gone now. So.
But no, it's cool. Like, we have kids every week. Somebody from somewhere else, not even New Jersey related, come and buy, like, a BMX bike.
Still.
Like, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Still happening. Every single week I meet somebody. Maine, Connecticut, you know, usually East Coast related stuff, but they're like, yeah, we just came in and we want to get our bike from here. Like, this is my son's first bike. He wants to get it from here.
That's
and we're
really
like,
cool.
That's amazing.
Is that all just based off YouTube?
Yeah. 100% YouTube stuff. And I wish we had a skate park tell him to go ride, but, you know, besides our bike shop, there's really nothing else to do around us. Like, there's nothing going on that you would even be able to tell a kid, like, go travel there because it's worth it. Like, no.
Have you guys, like, sat down and tried to meet with the city or anything and been like, let's work together and do something?
It's
such a positive thing, and it just seems like with the Incline Club gone, it's like, just being realistic, like, it sucks to think about, but there's probably kids that go there that are going to get off bikes, scooters, skateboards, and find methamphetamines. Hopefully not to that extreme.
Hopefully not.
But you know what I mean, though? It's like, it's a real positive pastime.
Yeah, no, we have a skate park in our town, and, like, you know, they actually put money into it. It used to be a prefab park, and now it's concrete.
Okay.
They did it a couple years ago or whatever, and I mean, you could tell that they did try. You know, they tried to do what was best for it and everything, but it's never been more than that. Like,
and I don't even know the solution with winter being so crazy. You know what I mean? I guess it's not going to be a public indoor.
I say, you're not from by us. You don't get it. You know?
I mean, I'm
just kidding.
I've been there in the winter.
I'm just kidding.
I hated my life.
You're from California. You can make a skate park anywhere in California, and it's going to get used all year long. You know? No one wants to be indoor, nothing like that. But for us, like, I mean, kids come and ride, and it's not even the kids who are, like, hardcore riders. Like, by us, I mean, we don't have a spot for BMXers to meet anymore, but there's maybe one skate park that, like, a lot of the BMX kids who used to ride at our skate park will go. You know? But besides that, even I've seen a new park open recently, and there's not even too many people caring to go try it,
Yeah.
which I think is like, how do you tell a city
It's hard. And like the Incline Club was such an experience though.
Yeah.
You know, it would be like if like there were two bars. I use this analogy because I'm drinking beer right now. If there was like there's this bar I used to go to sometimes in San Francisco. I might still be there, but it was like in a cave.
That's cool.
To where it was like, but it wasn't a cave. It was just designed to look like that.
But that's cool.
And it was really cool.
Yeah.
And it's almost like that compared to like the shitty bar about a block from here in Guadalajara, Mexico, where I'm afraid to go to, and it's literally just a counter and some stools. And it's like, well, it's technically the same thing, but this is an experience. I'm in a cave. Like, what the hell's going on?
No, that's no joke. The kids used to look forward to it, between the people that they were going to see there. Obviously, the ramps are going to be higher quality and everything. Yeah. But, like, I mean, they've watched endless YouTube videos of every event possible there, too. So they go there and they're like, oh, that video is filmed there. That video is filmed there. And, like, I feel like kids talk about that nonstop even now,
Yeah.
Kids come to our bike shop and they'll ride behind our bike shop real quick to see where we do obstacle courses and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, there's still tape on the ground. Like, it's blown away by it.
Kids have no idea that you guys aren't cool at all.
That was real mature.
Did I hurt your feelings?
Yeah, a little bit.
I didn't mean it.
You're not the first person to say it, so it's whatever.
No, I think you guys are pretty cool.
I like appreciate it. Thanks, Carlson.
But what I mean, is there a solution for that? Is there an easy solution?
No, I don't know.
Could you guys build a ramp at the park for kids to ride when they're there, or is that just a terrible idea based on insurance and?
Well, I mean, we have a track behind our bike shop. We have a track and
like a mini ramp or something.
It's been an idea, we've thought a lot about it, and we actually had people come and measure stuff out, like everything, and trying to build something there for the kids to ride. And it's a lot to figure out. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much that goes into it that you don't really see, and between just the money, the money's one thing, of course, but just like permits and this, and you don't want to mess anything else up, like even parking for the track, you don't want to mess up that. You don't want to put stuff directly behind our bike shop because, God forbid, a garbage truck comes in, like there's just so many things. We used to have ramps back there.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, we had kids playing on them when they're not supposed to or whatever. It's just like stuff to worry about that. It's like, in one way, the skate park going away is actually a lot of stress relieved from my family.
I can't even begin to imagine.
Like my mom, oh my God, she was going crazy with the skate park and the bike shop at the same time, just having to worry about kids getting hurt, or I don't know, hearing a news story each day of kids trying to sneak in or not filling out waivers correctly, stuff like that. She was going crazy about that. And now that it's gone, she misses it, but it is a big stress reliever for her. It's
got to be one of those weird situations where it's like the calm after the storm, where it's been so hectic for so long. Like, what do I do with myself now?
Well, that's actually exactly how it was. I mean, I think she's just past that point now, but like it was actually like that for a while, where she didn't have to do all the paperwork for it and everything, and like didn't have to get a call every day about something happening. And she's like, oh my God, it's almost like you have time in the day to do something else.
Yeah. I've read articles about like Olympic athletes that fall into like a deep depression when it's over, because even if they win, it's just done. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm devoting my whole life to this. Yeah. This is so big. This is my goal. I'm going to get it. And then you get it. And it's just like, what's the next step?
We've done it,
What are your parents doing now?
My dad, he's a supervisor at...
He's always done that, though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's been doing that for years or whatever. But he's just supervisor. So he pretty much works all day long. He works at it's public service, electric and gas. It's like the biggest power provider in New Jersey, pretty much. So he does that nonstop. And then my mom, she works at the bike shop about probably 4 days a week. She's like a saleswoman. She loves it. She doesn't know much about bikes, but she enjoys it.
Yeah.
So
she can fake it, I'm sure.
Yeah, she does really well. She's like, I have this bike. Nah.
Check it out. It's blue.
This is my favorite color. And people are like, oh, wow, she seems, pretty real about it.
That's Scotty's mom.
Yeah, let's get it.
Do people ever like take pictures with your parents and stuff?
All the time.
That's so cool.
My mom and my dad have both signed stuff for kids.
Are they on like the YouTube stuff sometimes?
The videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And they want them back all the time. Like kids literally will like comment and stuff and like, tell Big Scott to do this. Get Donna to drive a golf cart again. Like my mom drove a golf cart once in a video, and she's screaming the whole time, having like the best time ever, and kids loved it.
The highlight of their lives.
Like as her kid, I was dying laughing, and I was like, wow, other people enjoy this too. Like, other people love watching my mom not be able to drive a golf cart correctly. Like, that's funny, you know? Like,
personally, I'm ashamed. But
yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, so I thought that was pretty funny. They sign stuff all the time. Kids come to the bike shop and take pictures with my parents.
That's
like,
amazing.
It's cool, you know?
That's amazing. How do you deal with that? I mean, just like the amount of people that watch the channel is so crazy, and it's just like, it's crazy going to like anything, and when you're there and Scotty's there and Big Boy are there, it's just like, there's people want to meet you guys and see you guys, and it's really cool. Because, but it's just, it shows the power of that, man. Like, I still think it's insane. Like, even we came here to Mexico, and there's kids coming up all the time, like taking photos of Scotty and getting me to sign stuff, and like, it's just, I think it's the most incredible thing, because I was never into YouTube. Like, I was never one of those people that I watch videos or nothing. Like, I never really cared. I couldn't tell you anybody who's famous on YouTube. You know, I don't know anything about it. So to think like kids actually like come to these events or something to meet, or come to the bike shop and stuff to meet one of us, and their day is made. Yeah. Like, I think that's so incredible. And to see where people travel from. Like, we have kids like who come up and they're like, oh, I'm from France. And I just can't. I mean, it probably doesn't sound like that. It's probably like, woo, woo, shwanda. But like, they're like, when you translate it, they're like, I'm from France. We came here to meet you. You're so like, crazy.
What? Like, for me, it still baffles me. I just can't understand it.
You know what's cool about the whole YouTube thing you guys have going on is, like, I honestly feel like, and granted, I haven't been around for a ton of it, but I've been around for some of it. Yeah. You guys seem to like it. You guys don't seem miserable. I see a lot of these guys doing the YouTube shit, and they just seem like a total slave to it.
It can't get any better. Like, as a job, as a hobby, as whatever you want to call it, like, everyone has a different name for it these days. It doesn't get any better. Then, you know, we get to ride bikes, be involved in the bicycle world, whatever. And like, what else would you want from that? You know, like, you get to just be a part of everything, and meet new people nonstop, travel to new places nonstop. You have a reason to travel everywhere. You know, you don't have to make an excuse to travel anywhere. You have a reason to travel everywhere. Or have a reason to just film funny stuff, and it almost makes you like more outgoing as a person. Like, for me, like, I feel like it kind of changes me as a person a little bit, like, where I'm like a little bit more outgoing on stuff, or even riding wise, like, some stuff I probably wouldn't care to try, but we try it for the videos, or we try it for different stuff like that, and I think that's kind of cool too.
And like, you're riding incredibly good right now, and it's probably no coincidence that you have this kind of mission, this thing you need to do. Like, there's no way around it. Yeah. Like, it's almost like you're obligated to do it, but you enjoy the obligation.
Yeah, 100%. I think just all around, I don't see any negative side to being like known on YouTube, you know? I don't see anything that's like hard about it. I hate when people...
You guys don't do anything lame. You don't do anything illegal. You know what I mean? It's honestly like, it's good.
We're not faking
stuff.
Anything.
Yeah.
We don't fake anything that we put up, you know? We're not trying to go sneak into places or nothing like that. Like, this is literally what we do every single day. And to see that people enjoy that, it's like, oh, that's really cool, or
we'll
kind of weird in a way, but
keep doing this as long as you want to keep watching.
Yeah, like, it's amazing. I love it, and I just think I think the coolest part is just meeting all these people that care. You know, I think that's just like, it's so funny to me. I think it's so cool.
It blows. I remember being in Australia and people showing up to the skate park with shirts on and stuff, and just like such big fans, and I'm like, God, that's so weird.
Everywhere we go, like, I don't know. I just there's so much about it that I don't understand, but I think it's the most incredible thing. YouTube's insane.
The internet is powerful.
When you think about it, YouTube is like insane.
Yeah.
You know, people post videos every day on it, and like, kids go on every day to watch those videos, or people go on every day to watch those videos. And there's no age limit on the people who watch our videos either.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen every age person watch our videos, and like, Scotty put up videos about bulldogs once, and we had like nothing against older people, but we had like a 70-year-old couple walk into the bike shop one day and say, we came here because we heard that Scotty owns a shop. We found their video on YouTube because there's bulldogs on it, and they're wearing their bulldogs on their shirts when they walked in the bike shop. And they say, we don't know anything about what else you do, but we just thought it was really cool about the whole day in the life of the bulldogs video.
That's so funny.
And I was like, like, my mind exploded, and I was like, how cool is this?
Yeah. So did you sell them a bike though?
No, I didn't. They looked around for a while and they wanted to just talk about bulldogs. I'm not even kidding.
Which is cool.
Yeah,
That's
they
cool.
had nothing else they wanted to do. I'm like, that's someone's like grandparents that are in here talking about bulldogs, wanting to meet Scotty Cranmer, who's
Scotty
a 9 times X Games medalist. Like, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's really cool, you know?
Yeah. How did you deal with Scotty's crash? I can't even imagine how hard that was on you and on the family, because you were not there.
No, I wasn't there. I was at my girlfriend's house at the time. When I got the first call, I got the first call from Big Boy. And actually, realistically, the first call was from Jerry.
Okay.
Jerry
Batters?
from Vans.
Okay,
Jerry Batters
yeah.
from Vans. He actually, I think he texted me, and he said, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, I don't know.
Hanging out with my
I was
girlfriend,
like, it was late at night or whatever, you know. It was probably
weird.
10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, yeah, sure, man. Like, I was like, any problems? He's like, is Scotty okay? And I'm like, what happened to Scott? Like, I'm kind of like starting to wonder. And almost at the same time, I got a call from Big Boy, and he said, "Yo, I just want to let you know he's you know, obviously there's a lot going on right now, and I'm not going to get into detail about what was really happening or whatever, but he pretty much just said, you know, there's a lot going on, but I think he's going to be okay." And I'm like, wow, what? Like, I don't know anything about what is going on right now. So like, he had to get off the phone kind of quickly and everything, and I'm just sitting at my girlfriend's house, like completely blank from the whole situation.
In the dark from it.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. And I texted my mom to ask her if she knew anything that happened. And she said she's pretty much on the same page as me. Like, we still didn't know or whatever. And then next thing you know, she told me she was on the phone. And I tried calling her and nothing, like, went through or whatever. So I just kind of, like, I'm not going to lie, I just kind of waited it out to see if anybody else was going to get back to me about the whole thing. And then, like, no one kind of said much. And my mom just kind of said that she pretty much just said there's a lot going on right now. And I'll explain to you in detail I'll let you know more when I get it. And I'm like, okay, like,
because your parents went down there pretty much immediately, right?
Yeah, pretty much the next morning.
Did you go down?
Oh, I didn't. That's okay. I had to run the bike shop.
Damn. So all this is going on.
Yeah, when Scotty's wife went out, my parents went out, like everybody went out around me. So I had to take care of my dogs at home. I had to work the bike shop. Like, it definitely got real stressful. Like, I was home alone for a while, and I've never, taken that, I love my dogs, but I've never taken care of my dogs fully for that long. I've never taken care of the bike shop. Like, I've never had to do things at the bike shop like that. And so all that was like kind of super confusing for me at the time too.
Yeah.
So I just kind of sent into it immediately.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm not the one going through the hardships here, but for me it was just like kind of like a weird quick adjustment. But then I was kind of like I said, I didn't know much about what was going on completely, Yeah. People kind of told me things, and everything's getting mismatches, and it's really bad, or it's getting better, or it's okay, we might fly home, okay, we're gonna stay, okay, we're gonna, like, I didn't know much at all, and it was really freaky. Like, for me, I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna stand my ground here and do my thing, and I guess I'll just keep waiting for the next phone call,
Yeah.
So until I really knew what was going on, like, once I heard it, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And obviously from the start, we didn't know. I mean, I know there was a brain injury, and I know that there was a back injury or a neck injury, and like, I didn't really know how intense that is in a way.
You never really know, because there's so many different levels.
Exactly. I didn't know that it was going to be, no feeling in a body next, or brain bleeding, or different things like that. And obviously they're using a bunch of big words as well that I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
My parents were just telling me.
We already discovered that you didn't go to college, so.
Yeah, so I know nothing. Like, I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
So my parents telling me all that, like, I was like, I don't know what half this even means.
Yeah.
So they didn't know what it means.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. But it was a really big waiting game to see what was happening with it all.
Yeah.
In a weird way. And I think I was pretty, like, I really felt just kind of like blank to it all. Like, it was just kind of like fuzzy.
Kind of surreal?
Yeah. Couldn't think of the word, but yeah, it was very surreal that I just couldn't imagine it happening. I couldn't picture anything because I didn't know that as much either. And like, I think it all hit so quick that it just felt like a knockout for me. Like I was just kind of like, okay, like is this really going on, or what is going to go on next?
This doesn't seem real.
It didn't. Yeah. It was really, really like crazy, man. I'm trying to think about it now, and like it went by really slow too.
Yeah.
Like it was just like literally so much of a waiting game, just hearing new things or hearing better things or hearing worse things. Like it was just crazy,
I'm sure
man.
you heard a whole lot more than I did. But with me, even what I was hearing, it was seriously like positive then negative, then positive then negative. To where it's like, so what's really happening?
Yeah.
Am I just getting bullshit information, or is shit looking up, then it flips around?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah. And obviously we talked like a lot of the worst case scenarios of everything.
Yeah.
You know, and this is before anything was like, you know, diagnosed or whatever. But like we talked the worst case scenarios of everything. So we're like, oh, he's going to be transferred to this center. And I'm like, okay, so like, you know, what are we moving anywhere? Are we,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that was like kind of brought up too, like, or who's going to go live with him, or who's going to do this stuff. And then it's like, no, we're going to travel here to do this. And he'll go here. And like, there was so much brought up before anything was even
almost kind of jumping the gun.
Yeah.
Like,
the doctors, I guess, just filled everyone's heads with the worst case scenarios of everything too. And obviously it was really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for me, I just kind of always thought like things can always be worse, you know?
Yeah.
And that was tough, but it was kind of like, I guess I got to keep my own head on straight too. I was just like,
yeah.
You know, I just hope that everything can, I don't know, go the best that it could be.
Well, you're being there firsthand, and from a distance, even I see him making incredible progress.
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe firsthand seeing his progress from when he first got back to New Jersey, when you first saw him since the accident to
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It is mind-blowing. Like, when he finally came back to New Jersey and he was staying at the Kessler Institute or Kessler
How far is that from your house?
An hour.
Okay.
Yeah. When he was staying there,
north? It's up north, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We were traveling there like every day or every other day, as much as everyone can really.
Yeah.
But going there and like seeing the progress from, there was times where like he was talking funny and he was saying things that didn't make much sense.
Yeah.
And there were some things we were laughing about because it was kind of like funny in a way where like he had to explain images, and I think about this all the time. He had to explain these images and what was going on, or what was the bad things in the images. So it'd be like a kid like slipping off a counter or something, or like touching fire, I don't know. And like the doctors would ask like, all right, Scott, like what should these kids change or make differently in this picture? And he's just like, well, they should be wearing helmets or like something like that. And you're like, what?
Was he fucking with him, or was he just kind of...
I don't know.
That's awesome.
That's why it was like, or they're like, well, the mom should have had a better control over her kids or something like that.
He's getting deep into it.
Yeah. And it turned into that. And I was like, whoa. Like, I was like, I don't know if this is good or bad either. Because I mean, I guess it's good to be thinking about those things.
Critically
thinking. Because it's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. And then it was like one of those things where it's like, well, he's not really being Scotty right now.
Yeah.
You know? So it was like kind of iffy to think about. But like I said, you were thinking the best case scenario of everything. So you're like, at least he is thinking about all these things. You know, that's really cool. And then, I mean, there was so much that went on in between. And then to look at him now where everything's back to normal, like his mind's back to normal. He can walk, he can ride a bike, he can drive. He wants to go, you know, learn how to drive stick or something. Like I told him, I was like, Scott, you want to hop on my bike? And because it started raining, and he's like, yep, hops on my bike. And I ran past you today. You called me a jock.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. You flipped me off.
No, I didn't. No, I did not. You called me a jock. You called me all these mean words. And I was chasing after him, though, like while he's riding a bike in the rain. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, this is cool, you know? Like, I was laughing, running, because I was like, I gotta catch up to Scott. And I was like, he's running away with my bike. And I was like,
that's awesome.
I'm not even gonna lie. I thought about it today, and I'm like, whoa, he literally just grabbed my bike and started riding away.
It's crazy how that's big, man. It's just, it wasn't that long ago at all when it's like, let's hold him up the best we can so we can roll down a bank.
Yeah.
And we're trying to catch him everywhere. And today it's like, oh shit, it's raining. I'm going to pedal back to the room.
Yeah, like it's a process. Like originally when he started riding his bike and everything, like it was a process, you know? He had to get his feet right, or it wouldn't work the first time, or like, excuse me. Stuff like that, like where, you know, it wasn't working first try, where he was getting his feet on the pedals, or like everything had to be right, or if it was too cold, his body's locking up, or different things like that. And everything came into, you know, just making it so much more difficult than it had to be.
Yeah.
And like for him, like, it was a little chilly out today. It was rainy and all this stuff. It didn't affect him. He grabbed my bike and he rode away. And I was like, this is so cool.
Dude, you're pretty close to the level, if you're not already at the level, to where you really need to start packing his bike and bringing it just to pedal around.
That's the truth.
Just to pedal around.
That's the truth.
Like,
and it's cool because he's actually been doing it more often.
Yeah.
Like he's been like, you know what? Bring my bike.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't have to be like a week process of like Thursday, I'm going to ride my bike.
Yeah.
Like it's like, all right, throw my bike in the truck. We're doing it. Like today, I'm doing it. I feel cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty insane to think. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought about it today. I'm like, just like not long ago, they were telling him he'll never walk again. Or, like doctors were walking in and Scotty was waving at them, and like they're like, wait, no, I'm supposed to be seeing a dude who's paralyzed.
Yeah.
And like doctors were walking out of the room because they're like, I'm supposed to be seeing a dude who's paralyzed.
I'm seeing the wrong guy right now.
Yeah.
They gave me the wrong
literally.
number.
And this really happened. And like next thing you know, he's waving at them. And that was huge. For him to be able to wave at these doctors was huge. This was like, thank God Scotty is okay, or he's gonna be okay.
He's already exceeding their expectations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now to see him, like he literally grabbed my bike and just rode away. And I was like, holy crap.
It took me a minute when I saw him riding away where it just seemed natural. I'm like, oh, what's up, Scotty?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Wait, what the hell? And it wasn't perfect conditions. It was raining out.
No, it was
you
shitty.
know?
It was
That's
really
dangerous.
shitty. Yeah.
And he did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's sick. Like, I don't know. I thought that was like the coolest moment. That was probably like my best part of the day. I felt good riding the course today, but that was my favorite part of the day. Like,
what about this?
This is cool, but this is a close
third
place
place.
for sure. I mean, you're lucky if you're making podium today, but
I'll take that 10th place tattoo.
Yeah?
Matty Cranmer special.
Mimic it, please.
I should.
Please.
Like, oh, why'd you get that tattoo? I told some young boy 10 years younger than me I would to try to fit in.
It sounds really good, too. Yeah, say it just like that.
Sound like a real man. Yeah,
Literally, say it just like that.
Yeah, I don't know. People have enough excuses to laugh at me already.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm great.
No, that's. I was just going to fill that in.
But
for
what
sure.
a great guy I
am.
am?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would never let you go down like that.
You're a great guy.
I appreciate that, man.
You're probably the best Kramer male other than Big Scott.
Really?
No, I was just trying to insult your brother.
Figured that.
Yeah.
You told me I was the best looking, though.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Appreciate that.
Other than Big Scott.
He'll be so stoked when he hears that. He's going to be so happy.
Both your parents kick ass. That's one thing I can say. Like, I've always known your family and stuff. And when all the shit went down with Scotty, like, everybody really stepped up in a big way. Your entire family, Scotty's wife, everybody kicked so much ass.
It's unbelievable. There was no choice. But a lot of families, you know, I've heard a lot of bad stories about other situations that maybe families weren't exactly
in BMX.
Yeah.
You know, where it's just
BMX related, whatever. And I couldn't believe it. Yeah. Like my family, the people around us, our friends, fans, whatever, like people really stepped up when they had to. And I think that brings everybody much closer to the whole BMX thing as well. Like you're like, you can't leave BMX, you know, you realize how cool people are and you're like, that's dope, you know?
Well, it's big too how it just seemed like everywhere in the world there were these jams trying to raise support.
We're getting calls every day.
Man, it was crazy.
You know, we've had people calling up trying to organize a new jam or just trying to donate money for just saying like, hey, I just want to give you this money. Like, and you're like, why? And they're like, we're just trying to help out. And we're like, all right. And then next thing you know, we have people who are like, hey, I want to raise money. I'm going to go ride around the country on a road bike. And you're like,
okay.
What? They're like, yeah, I'm serious. I want to raise as much money as possible for Scotty. And you're like, whoa.
It's stuff.
Okay.
It really, honestly, it sucks. I wish it didn't happen, but it really brought out the best in a lot of people. I brought out the best in the BMX world.
I think a lot of people realize something different that they haven't seen in a long time. You know? Yeah.
Dude, Scotty's always kind of been the glue in BMX. Scotty, Nyquist, there's few guys that kind of transcend who they have respect across the board.
Yeah.
Where it's not like, oh, you're Mr. Park guy, you're Mr. Street guy. There's the kind of guys, it's like, you're such a badass that it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like anything you do, we're going to respect it.
Yeah, that's the truth. That is the truth.
Scotty's absolutely earned that, respect and whatnot. And I think something like this really kind of brought BMX together. It sucks it took something like this.
Of course.
I thought it was really cool. Like a few months after the accident, there was like a Colt in Barcelona video, and the first thing said something about Scotty.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Scotty and Colt couldn't be any more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, any more different, and it happened.
But Scotty's, we're all friends.
Yeah, I remember exactly what you're talking about. I was like, that was cool too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, everybody stepped up big time. It was cool. It was good to see everybody getting behind something positive.
And it's crazy. 2 years later, like even now, people are still stepping up, you know?
Yeah.
People are still brought together by it. People are still talking about, like, what can we do to help? Or, like, just everyone's still brought together by that. And I think that's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
When he was in the hospital, my mom brought him a bunch of pasta.
And that's so awesome that your mom wanted to bring him pasta. Like, that's so, he should be so thankful for that.
I know. Scotty owes me a lot more.
Yeah, he's not hungry anymore, Thank God.
All this meaty pasta.
Oh, God.
No, there was vegetarian stuff.
Oh, perfect. Thank God.
I made sure of it.
Thank God. But, that would have been rough.
You don't eat meat, do you?
I eat chicken and turkey.
Okay, no red meat?
No red meat.
Any reason behind that?
Yeah. So it all began like years ago. I was a super vegetarian. Like I was like, I'm gonna be vegetarian, and then Scotty and everyone in my family used to make fun of me for it. Every single person was like, you can't be vegetarian. You need meat. You need protein. And I'm like, no, the animals. And I'm like, I watch all these videos in school. I'm like, no, absolutely not.
The animals aren't cannibals. They eat the grass.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, I got into like the whole kind of, I guess, weightlifting stuff and trying to be a little bit healthier me and everything. And I was like, you know what? Like I could start eating some chicken or whatever just for more protein. And then the whole red meat thing, I was just like, I learned a bunch about cancer causing stuff, and I am not going to be one of those people that I will tell you that red meat causes cancer, but I've heard so many things, I've watched so many videos, and I've seen that red meat can possibly cause cancer. There was like the whole in Asia, they have one of the lowest cancer rates.
Eat a lot of fish.
And they eat a lot of fish. The red meat's not as popular, not nearly as popular.
I've had the best red meat in my entire life in Japan.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kobe beef, like it's really high end.
Yeah.
But it's also different diets on the meat. Yeah. It's treated to a higher quality.
That definitely helps out too. And between how much of their population, or how much of a population they have, and to think that they have one of the lowest cancer rates, and it's like when you start connecting some things, you're like, all right, something kind of makes sense. I'm not going to tell anybody they're going to get some sort of crazy disease from eating red meat, but for me, in my mindset, I'm just like, I don't need it.
Well, especially if you're satisfied without it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've never been like a burger guy. I've never been like a steak guy.
Yeah.
I had like filet mignon once, and I did like it, but besides that, I never really cared for anything else.
You only like the finest of steaks.
Yeah, literally, that was it. For me, I get vegan options of pretty much most meats. Like vegan bacon, I'm in love with. I love it. I eat it constantly.
It's really good.
Like constantly.
Yeah.
And same exact flavors and everything, textures, whatever. Like there's so many other options out there that you don't need it. I also don't drink milk or do any dairy products really. I eat eggs.
Drink soy milk?
No soy milk either.
Almond?
I do almond.
Almond's proper.
I'll do coconut milk ice cream because I'm a big ice cream lover.
Be careful with that. That coconut stuff might be poison.
That's the truth, and that's why I didn't know before this trip, but when I go home, big changes are happening in my life. I promise you that.
Ooh.
Coconut stuff out the window.
Damn.
Well, in the garbage.
Coconut's so good.
I know. Coconut milk ice cream is...
That stuff's really good.
That's like...
Yeah.
It's addicting. It's got addictive properties. For sure.
Which, at least it's,
They probably put some chemical in there that's causing all these problems with it and everything that makes it so addicting.
Yeah. That's what you got to worry about. All this stuff that comes off the shelf, the preservatives and stuff. Like,
I can't
that's what
stand
gets
it,
you,
man. I cannot stand it.
And I don't know. I'm just going off on a whole other tangent here, but like traveling a lot's difficult too. Because anything good for you is going to expire to where it's like, if I'm only home like 3 days at a time, I just end up eating out for every meal.
Dude, I just spent $4 American dollars in the vending machine about 20 minutes ago, and I had the time of my life. I want to let you know that. I got donuts out of the vending machine. Whew,
And you're concerned about poison.
Yeah.
I won't eat red meat, but I have these Mexican donuts out of the vending machine.
They've probably been in that fridge for years. I'm not even kidding, years. But I bought everything. I only spent like $4. I got like 10 things in there. Like, that's living, you know? That's life right there. That's cool.
You know what they say, win in Guadalajara.
I've never heard that, but it sounds great.
Thank you.
It sounds great.
Thank you.
You know?
Matty, wrapping things up here, important question that everybody has to answer. Who's your favorite BMX rider of all time?
Of all time.
Of all time.
Oh my God. How am I supposed to answer that?
With a name?
Fair enough. I don't know. I've looked up to 1,000,001 bike riders. Like 1,000,001, and I've went through every phase possible of I want to ride like this guy. I want to set my bike up like this guy because, you know, I mean, obviously everyone's going to expect it to be my brother 100%. And I have looked up to my brother's riding ever since I could possibly ride a bike. Literally. He's the most amazing bike rider I've ever seen in my life. But I'm not even gonna lie. I'd have to say Dennis Anderson.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right
No
on.
joke. I think Dennis Anderson's one of the most incredible bike riders. I think he is like the bike rider, you know? I think bike riding in general is very divided between street riders and dirt riders and park riders these days. And everyone, you know, claims something. And I think Dennis Anderson's one of those dudes who's like, I ride a bike, you know? I can do it all.
Yeah.
I'm
I can
the
do
best
it all,
at it.
And I can win any contest. I can do
legitimately anything. And
Yeah.
I think it's the coolest thing how everything he does, he can do regular and switch.
Yeah.
I think he could do every trick in the book. There's nothing that like you would look at him and be like, oh, I've never seen Dennis do that. Like, no, you've seen him do it, and you've seen him do it on the biggest obstacle you possibly imagine, you know?
Yeah.
And just, I think he's the sickest. And I don't know, I think he's gonna have to be my favorite bike rider ever. That's the truth.
That's a good choice. I think you'd have a hard time arguing that Dennis and Scotty aren't two of like the top 10 best of all time.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt. I like I said, I would 100% put Scotty up there, but without saying my brother's name, because everyone would expect it. Everyone would expect, like, I think Scotty is the most incredible, and Scotty is the bike rider. Like, he can ride anything and everything. He can, the most bike control you've ever seen in a human being, you know? Whatever he wants to do, he can think it up and he will get it done. I promise you.
You know one thing that always impressed me with Scotty, and I'm sure you were really young when this was happening. He pioneered a lot of like big tricks meet tech tricks, double whip to tap, you know,
Yes.
things like that would not have been considered possible before Scotty did them.
Like, you watch old videos.
His brain is and always has been one of his biggest assets.
Yeah, 100%. Like, he has thought up so many different tricks that, like, I watch old videos and like when he does like all these 360 flip to tire tap, fake. I don't even know. Like, God knows what he does, but those are tricks that like I still don't see people doing, and you're like, what the hell? And then he goes and he's done flip double whips, front flip tail whips. This, like, you're just like, how?
You know, I think two things I'll say here. I think one of the most impressive things I've seen Scotty do is legit click turndowns out of toothpick stalls.
Yeah.
Like, which doesn't make sense
that's
at
the
all.
truth.
And also, at a random dew tour practice in Salt Lake City, this is probably 10 years ago
If
now.
it's what I'm thinking of right now.
It probably isn't.
Okay.
It's just a random thing
Fair
he
enough.
did messing around that I happened to be pointing the camera. But he did a front flip to manual the tail whip. He did a front flip up a big step up, land manual. No one has ever done it before. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
I've never
pretty
seen a
dope.
front flip to manual
Yeah.
before. He didn't do it again.
Yeah.
I think hardly anybody noticed he did it. I just happened to be pointing the camera. But I was like, to this day, I think Mark Webb might have done a front flip to manual and something, but it wasn't a big step up.
Yeah.
You know? It was,
yeah. I think one of the most amazing things is in Dew Tour, he used to do cross-footed stuff.
Yeah.
He would be riding mid-run, just hop to cross-foot and do like double whip or flip whip or like something like that. And you're like, I've never seen anybody else do that.
Yeah.
No one wants to try that. I can't even bend my legs that way. I've tried to ride it. I've tried to ride a bike cross-footed once, and my body can't do it.
I remember back when Scotty was doing the cross-footed thing, we were at the park in San Diego one day, and Anderson did a cross-footed underhanded flip over the box.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah, I mean, it was just because Scotty was doing all that shit, so he was like messing around with it. But yeah. So.
But it really does make sense. Like, that's cool. It's funny, if you ask Scotty about the whole front flip to manual thing, I guarantee he's got a story for you that you'd really enjoy.
Is that a true thing, or you just
yeah,
assuming?
No, I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yeah, he did a manual to front flip at Woodward years ago, and he holds it to this day as like it was one of the best moments of his life.
Really?
Because he said that I'm not gonna say any names or anything, but pretty much he was doing like a line where he was doing something manual to tail whip, and he kept trying it, and he got on the manual, and somebody said it's gonna be a tail whip or something like that, and he's like, haha, watch this, locks his brakes up and pulled the front flip out of it, and people were like, what in the hell just happened? Just because he wanted to shut up one person.
Well, that's a pretty big ego.
Yeah. That's serious though. Like, you would enjoy it. I'm sure he's going to tell you about it.
We'll do. I sat down with Scotty for a while for that interview, and I was out right before you guys closed the park. We sat down for like an hour and talked. So I'm going to get Scotty on here probably later this year, but I wanted to take the opportunity to talk to you. And I
appreciate it.
And I think you're the best looking one of the bunch.
Oh my God!
Even better looking than your dad.
No, don't let my dad hear that. Please don't let him hear that.
He'd kick my ass again.
Yeah, you already talked him up.
He's a great guy. Your whole family's great. You're a great guy, Matty. I appreciate you sitting down doing this.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me out in this nasty hotel room to do this.
Hey, thank you to.
I'm just kidding. It looks good.
This is what happens.
Don't invite any women over.
I don't do that anyway.
Fair enough.
Anyway, all right, man.
No, thank you, though. Thank you for letting me do this. I'm stoked. I'm glad we got to talk for a little bit.
So am I. This is what I have to do to get a YouTube celebrity like you to hang out with me.
Don't ever call me that again. Please don't ever do that.
Oh, there's like a terrible name for him. There's something.
It doesn't get worse than a YouTube celebrity.
Maybe that's
what that sounds bad.
I can't remember what it was.
That's really rough. A vlogger?
No, just YouTuber.
Oh,
that's what it
God.
is. Yeah.
That's really bad.
Scotty went on a big rant one time about people
bad.
calling that. He goes nuts. So
yeah.
I also think it's terrible, so I respect that.
It's rough. Coming from. I was thinking about what we would call you.
A handsome man.
Podcaster? Caster?
An Adonis of a man.
That was going to roll off my tongue next, for sure.
Thank you. All right, buddy.
All right,
buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for this week. Big thanks to Matty for stopping by. Follow Matty on Instagram at Matty Cranmer, Cranmer. You should be able to spell that by now, but if not, it's okay. And until next week, just remember, it doesn't count if you don't pull the rollback. See ya.